Yeah, I shouldn't be drinking this late. Hello. It's been a minute. I was supposed to put a video out in October, but I hurt my ankle and couldn't use my sewing machine. And so I told myself, I'll give myself 2 weeks to see if it feels better. I then had to go help my mother, and then I had to plan for my husband's birthday party. So I didn't get a chance to even start my project for October. I couldn't even put on the tights for the costume. So that didn't happen, sad to say. However, I'm getting back in the swing of it. I'm in a better place. I put the entire project completely away, so I don't even have to look at it. And we're just gonna pretend it doesn't exist and move on to the next bit, which I'm really excited about because I'm making a 50s coat. Where's the pattern? I'm working with this pattern. 50s coats are notably very, very warm. They have this beautiful drape on them, and I really want it in my wardrobe. We're about to have a really, really cold winter. I can already tell because it is already 55 degrees outside. And that is ridiculous for November in Texas. Usually we're in the 70s, still in the 80s. It's warm, but it's not freezing. Now it's oh no. Anytime we get a little bit of rain, it is chilly. And I have several coats, but I don't have a pretty light brown one. And I did that dumb thing where I went to Joann's unsupervised and I bought fabric. So I bought 2. The first one I bought is this gorgeous, I guess it's orange. I don't know. Guys, I'm a little colorblind, so I have a hard time with colors. This to me looks on camera it looks orange. But in life, I guess it is orange. Maybe that's the key. Maybe I should just always look at colors through a camera. But it's very, very soft. It's cashmere-esque. I know it's not real cashmere because the price was not real cashmere price. But the one that I'm going to make my coat out of is a more window pane basic plaid than this. And I've already set my fabric out. And I've already got my pattern on it because I couldn't wait. It's already getting cold. I really want another coat, something I can just throw on with the rest of my clothing. Of the 2 other coats I have, one of them is brown, and the other one is a camel color. One of them is an actual 50s coat that I had found in a resale place, and I adjusted it, and it was amazing. And I wear it all the time. I love it. However, I want another coat. So here we go. Let me show you what I've done so far. Welcome to my floor. So I've already laid out all my pieces, mostly because I didn't know if I was going to have enough. So we have that same beautiful tannish, orangish brown color that this is on beautiful window pane cream white. And I think it's going to be really classy. I think it's something that a vintage woman from the 50s would see in a shop and say, oh my gosh, I want that in a hat, I want it in a coat, and I want it in a purse. If you bring me a belt, bring me a belt. There's a couple things about this pattern that I'm already irritated with, as I always am. First of them being that the sleeves, there's 2 sets, and they're the same size. One of them is a little bit thinner. That's it. If that's the only difference, mark it on one and just move on with your life. Now this pattern does have the ability to be shortened to a more 50s jacket, as you can see from these lines here. But I don't want a jacket, I want a coat. So I did go ahead and shorten it for my shortness. The nice thing is I went ahead and shortened it 8 inches to make it the length that I want, because this is my pattern and my jacket. I can do what I want. So I'm doing it how I want. I've got sleeve bands. I'm gonna have a cute little cuff going. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put the pocket welts at an angle to do some cute crisscrossing. I'm not sure yet. I do have enough. Thank you God, because I was really nervous. I bought all of this fabric that was left, and this is this is what, maybe it's a little over 2 yards, like maybe 2.5. It's nowhere near enough to actually do a proper coat, but I love this fabric. I want a 50s or 50s inspired anyway coat, and I'm gonna do it my way anyway. So you can watch me, cut this out on my floor, because even though I do have a table that's specifically for cutting, it's already here. And I'm just gonna cut it on the floor and hope I don't scratch up my floor. Here we go. So we have the outer shell, at least. I do have lining to cut, so I'll go do that real quick here in a minute. And I need to figure out which color I'm gonna do. I have a beautiful brown that's more like a chocolate, and then I have a really pretty kind of camel color, which would be nice. I'm not doing white, I refuse, and I'm not gonna go hunting for this color. I'm just gonna do something kind of complimentary and just move on. So I'm gonna go cut those, and then I need to see what interfacing I need to cut. I'll cut that, and then we will reconvene tomorrow to iron and put things together. Instead of wasting my time rolling out interfacing for one piece, which is the facing side, which goes from the back of my neck all the way down to basically my mid-shin area, end of the coat anyway, they want a piece of interfacing through that. Understandable. There's probably going to be buttons in it, it's going to have to hold structure, whatever. I refuse to roll out an entire bolt of interfacing just for 2 pieces that are long and have to have all this extra. So instead, I went through my stash of cabbage, or interfacing cabbage if you would, and I found a whole bunch of pieces, and I am just going to iron a whole bunch of pieces together and then keep cutting and splicing and cutting and splicing, because no one's gonna see it. And there's no point in wasting all of this. Let me show you. That's a lot of cabbage. But the rest of it's done, so I will probably start sewing it tomorrow. I am trying my hardest not to start it right now because I'm in that sewing high, and there's part of me that's like, I may not have a chance to do this again, and I should just do it and get it over with, and then I don't have to keep overthinking it. And yet here I stand, wanting to watch Bridgerton again instead of actually working on my project. Is it procrastinating or self-help? Someone tell me the difference.
sorry for the terrible audio. I have a window open because it's stuffy in here. I'm telling you, Texas weather. It's either really, really cold or really, really hot. Jacket so far. I have most of the outer shell put together, but I had this moment where I'm looking at a piece thinking it needs to go in a space, and it's that sensation of when you find a puzzle piece that should fit in the space. It makes total sense. The color is right, the shapes look right. No matter how many times you try to plug the piece into place, it just doesn't work, and you can't figure out why, so you try to force it, only for it to not work at all. So I just had that moment where I stitched it and it didn't feel right, so I took it out. And so then I finally put it on the mannequin to realize I just skipped a step on the paper I was working on before. So now I can have the outer shell finished in the next like 5 minutes. I just need to not push myself this hard. I just thought it was funny. There's lining and the outer shell. So I'm almost done. But this is confusing because I'm having a hard time figuring out how to stitch it together, because the right side has to be facing my body on the inside. Maybe I'm just tired, but my brain just isn't computing. I have severe dial-up internet brain right now, and it's 5:56. I've been at this since like noon, which is still kind of impressive, but I'm just it's my perfectionism wanting me to stop so that I don't screw it up. Can anybody relate? Is it just me? Am I crazy? Am I doing too much? You know what? I'm just gonna sew the freaking lining in and turn it inside out and hope it works. And we're gonna see how this goes, I guess.
The lining is on. It's attached around the front part, right in here. So you can see all the way down. Very nice. I forgot to adjust the lining pattern pieces to match where the skirt was, where the end of the jacket's supposed to stop, which now that I'm even looking at it, it's about my knee anyway. But it's a little too long there, and it's a bit too long in the sleeve, so I'm going to have to cut
the bottom, and I'm gonna have to cut the sleeves. And then it's just attaching everything. I've got to fold the sleeve in so that I can stitch it to the innermost part here. And then I need to cut the bottom. Don't know if I'm going to leave it open or if I'm going to close it. We will see. But that's the next step. Let's see how this goes. It's done! And I have thoughts. Okay, first thought. I did this too quickly. I spent about 7 hours doing this, which sounds like a very long time, but there's a lot of things that I didn't account for when I made this coat. First thing that I know I made a mistake about is I did not press every single one of my seams and trim them 100% like I should have, and you can kind of tell because it just has a feel of kind of homemade. It feels far too unpolished, and with a coat you really need like that steam press to get those nice crisp clean lines, and it feels like it's missing that. One other thing is the lining. The lining I think is actually drapery lining, so I used the wrong stuff, but it's keeping me warm. It doesn't matter. It's kind of nice because it drapes drapery fabric. It drapes really nice, so I don't feel like I'm being suffocated like I do with a lot of other linings. One other problem, and this is just because I was going too fast and trying to get through it, I didn't think about matching lines. That being said, I didn't have enough fabric really to do this properly. It falls about maybe a couple inches below my knee, which is roughly where I wanted it. But I would definitely redo this pattern in the future to have it the full length, make it a really, really nice coat, and maybe take the extra time to work on those details because it's very important. My husband loves this coat. He did say it needs something. He's very confused as to why it doesn't have a front closure. And let me tell you, I'm not putting closures in this. It's such a pain to put buttons on them. Maybe one day, like if I wear this out enough, that I will convince myself to put buttons in. But right now, it's just more of a really nice kind of jacket. It's exactly what I wanted. This thing is exactly what I wanted. I don't know if you can see that, but it falls like right to my knee. It's just a jacket to toss on to run some errands. It is really pretty. It doesn't really go with most of my closet. As my husband and I played with last night, we tried the jacket with different outfits and things like that, and it definitely needs a very specific kind of look. But even like the sleeves go a little bit longer so I can wear gloves. It falls, just there above my wrist, but I can fold it up and make it feel a little bit more casual. I can wear this with elbow gloves. I can wear this over a gown if I really wanted to. It's just kind of a nice casual coat. But yeah, I really should have dedicated more time to working on it and not sped through it as much as I did, because it's not suffering. It's a fine coat, but my perfectionism is also getting the better of me, thinking, oh, it's not fine. Like, there's definitely lines that aren't meeting properly. There's definitely, you could have ironed this more, you could have done this, you could have done that, but honestly, I have more projects to do. I have more things, better things to do, and for a project I did in a day, I ain't mad at it. And I'm trying to give myself the grace of knowing that I did this so that I could have another project done so I can work on the next thing and really keep going and get through this stash of fabric that I have, because I have so many more projects I want to work on, but there's so many things that are sitting in my wings of my craft room that need to be done, that are wanting to be done. So I'm just happy to have another one. I have another lovely coat that will keep me warm during the winter. And I'm honestly, all in all, I am proud of this coat. I am proud of how it looks. I'm proud of how it fits. And even though it's not 100% perfect, get this in my head, it is an immaculate project for everything that was done to it. So I'm happy. I hope you're happy. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to be alerted whenever I do my next videos. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, praise for me, drop it in the comments. I will try to read it and remember to read it. I have a bad habit of not reading them. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!